G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm of course going to be talking about the new update that just dropped. This is one of the biggest updates we have ever gotten. I would argue there is more content in this update than there was in the new season release. There is so much that has changed. We have the Mothership now where you get beamed up into it. You play like a mini game, and depending on how well you do in the mini game, you get better loot. We have Sweaty Sands or Believers Beach just completely gone. We have a change to how arena points work. There's a lot to talk about, so let's just jump straight into it. Let's start off with the Mothership, because this is by far the biggest change in this new season, except for Sweaty Sands being gone, but I think that's a glitch. So the Mothership is basically, there will be different spots around the map that have little UFOs on them. If you go to the UFO areas, you can land on the UFO. There's some chest spawns, there's some guns. It's not super exciting, but the main point is, after a minute or two, you'll see these like gravity beams come out. If you get stuck in one of those gravity beams, you get sucked up onto the Mothership, where you go into like a mini game. It's like a low gravity mode. There's two different types of orbs. One of them will add more time onto how long you're in the mini game for. That's the little black ones which have like the timer on them. The gold ones are the ones you want to be getting as well, though. The more of those you get, the more stars you get. Once you get to legendary, the game ends or you run out of time. The higher you get, the better loot in this ridiculous vault. Like, this is the most insane vault we've ever had in the game. I got legendary one of the times, and I got in and it was just 8 chests of all legendary loot. I got a legendary AR, legendary TAC, legendary SMG, full minis, and full big pots. Like, this is so insanely broken, but I've got to admit, it's only in pubs. It's not in competitive. There was actually very few changes to competitive today, which is kind of what I was expecting with FNCS All-Stars around the corner. It's only in a few days. I didn't think they were going to make huge changes right before that, but I'm kind of happy they didn't, because you guys know I've been arguing for a couple of more fun items in arena and competitive, like the recon gun, maybe a mythic or two that aren't too broken, just something to spice it up, but not this. This change does not belong in competitive, and I'm really happy that Epic is making that big split between public matches and competitive. For the longest time, pubs have just felt like arena without the siphon and map farming and a few bots running around. They didn't feel that different, but now with the recon gun, the rail gun, the Mothership, all the craziness, the UFOs, it truly does feel different. If you want to have crazy fun with friends and get casuals back into the game, you go play pubs. If you want to keep it a little bit more, competitive, you stay to arena. Again, I wish arena was just a little bit more fun. I do want a few more items added. It's sad to see that it looks like nothing was really added to competitive. There is no other map changes right now that I'm aware of. Obviously the UFOs aren't in competitive, so that's it. The map looks exactly the same, except for Sweaty Sands. One thing I did want to include about the Mothership that I'm a little bit concerned about, especially if it went into competitive, which it won't, but even in pubs, it's really going to affect the pacing of the game. Right now, a lot of the early game is going to be spent going up into the Mothership and playing this mini game. Again, how well you play the mini game matters a lot, so try to get the timer. I've found that most people are just trying to grief each other by using the gravity bombs to knock each other around. If you actually play to get the loot, it's not going to be too hard, but try to get the timers. Almost no one is going for the timing orbs. By the time it gets to the end, I'm like the only one in there running around grabbing the gold orbs and getting legendary loot every time. Just a little bit of a bonus tip, but it's going to affect pacing. You go in there, you play the mini game, no one actually dies. They come out, they fly wherever they want. So it now means that by the time you get out, the game is halfway through anyway. And yes, less people are now dying on spawn because a lot of them are going into the UFOs, but then they have this ridiculous amount of loot and they just W key everyone else after that. So as much as this is a crazy fun change and I really like it, if it stays in for the whole season, I can actually see it potentially getting a little bit annoying towards the end, but I'm not going to try and get negative about what seems like a really cool change. Maybe they'll take it out after a little bit. Maybe something else will happen with the Mothership. It looks like Epic is very committed to making big changes throughout the season, which I am all for. I used to love every few weeks getting a huge update that made the game feel fresh, getting new items, new cool things. I love that from Epic, and I really want to see this more, but I've got to give them credit. They came up with a fun new idea that hasn't been done before, and it's making pubs feel really, really fresh. Just adding another clip in here, my editor was about to post the video. I didn't find any of these, but they are the alien NPCs in the game now, these parasites. Hypex has been talking about them a lot. I haven't been able to find any of them, but they are in the game. They attach to you, they take you from 100 health down to 65, and they give you like a pepper effect, and they let you jump and run faster, so they're really, really good for rotating, but as soon as you get shot at, they fall off you, and these are in competitive. So with solo FNCS this weekend, if there's a strategy to find these, and I'll talk about that in a video soon if I can figure it out, if you can reliably find these and get them to attach to you for rotates until you get shot, maybe it's a strategy, but it doesn't seem super game breaking in my opinion. You'd probably rather just go fishing and get spicy fish or drop for peppers. I can't see a huge change. I think they're meant to be kind of negative because they take a lot of health off you, but either way, I wanted to include it. That looks like the main change we got in competitive, but it's a pretty minor one at this point. I could be completely wrong. Maybe there's plagues of them and I'm just super unlucky. I don't know. If you load into the game right now, Sweaty Sands or Believers Beach is just completely gone. At first, people thought this was an actual update. They thought it was part of the game, but it does look like it's a glitch. Fortnite Status has tweeted out. They said, "We're investigating the disappearance of Believer Beach. We will let you know when we found it again." They also said, "We're also investigating the disappearance of some buildings in Holy Hedges," because if you go to Sweaty Sands or Believers Beach and Holy Hedges right now, they're just totaled. Believers Beach especially, it's just flat, but it looks like a glitch. It doesn't really render in properly. A lot of people are talking about how they're falling through the map there if they drive into it. It's clearly a glitch. Now, it has something to do with the new event that's going to be starting in a few hours. I'm sorry, I can't stay up for the event. Today was supposed to be my day off. I've got a meeting at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm sorry, I can't stay up for it, so I'm guessing this means we're going to get some potential big changes to Sweaty Sands, but based on the fact that none of these new changes have made it into competitive, I'm actually not that hopeful. I think Epic has deliberately made sure that there's no major changes right before FNCS All-Stars, so I actually don't think Believers Beach will change. It'll be funny to come back to this. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and it's completely gone. It's replaced with Tilted. Coral Castle's being destroyed. I don't know. I'm really hoping we get some kind of map changes in competitive. We've had arena point resets. I'm going to be grinding so much arena. It would be cool to have a few different locations on the map, because as much as I don't think there should be the Mothership in competitive, I do think we should have something. There should be some areas of the map that are somewhat different and give the game a different fun feel. And All-Stars, I don't think too many people would complain about some changes right before All-Stars, because again, it doesn't feel like an FNCS. It's meant to be a bit crazy. We have some skill games in there. The players got invited based on their trio performances for a solo tourney. It doesn't have that same fully competitive feel. It hasn't had like 6 weeks of qualifiers building up to it, so I guess we'll have to see. But unfortunately, I would have loved to have recorded this video after the event, because a lot of these questions will be answered. But you guys can let me know in the comments what ends up happening, because you know I'm going to be checking as soon as I wake up tomorrow morning. There was one big change to arena, or technically two. We have had the arena point reset. Our points are back to 0, which I'm so excited for. I can now actually get queues, and it looks like OC's turned on arena duos, which doesn't affect you guys too much, but has me super pumped. Some of the most fun I've had on this game in a long time was a few seasons back when OC had arena duos. It was school holidays, which is about to be for summer, or for winter for us. Your guys' summer break right now. We are going to be getting instant queues, and I'm going to have so much fun with it. But the one big change they made was to the scoring format. The scoring format has actually changed now. You get 180 hype for a victory royale and 20 per elimination. So 9 eliminations for a win, and you start getting hype as early as top 50 now. So it looks like they're going for a bit more early placement, but less placement points overall. Again, a lot of people are focusing on this change and talking about how, you know, why are you making it more W key heavy? You should be making it more placement heavy so people play properly. I've said this before. If Arena gave out 1,000 points for a win and 1 for an elimination, people are still going to W key. You go into Arena right now because you want to get siphoned, mat farming, and you want to W key. That's why you play it. Until they make it an actual ranked game mode where at the top levels you feel like you're versing really good opponents with some cool rewards like some skins, maybe some V-Bucks, specific tournaments you can only get into if you get to a really high amount of points. I've talked about all of this. Until Epic makes it feel like a proper competitive game mode, changing changing the points won't do anything. So I don't really care about the point change that much. It looks like W King and solos is going to be the fastest way to get points. If you get 10 eliminations, that's already a win. So I guess we're going to have to see how it goes. Points aren't going to be that hard to get, but also players who are playing a bit safer, trying to get to chance by just kind of camping, might be a little bit more difficult now. But you end up getting placement points earlier. So if you're going down early, you know, the bus fare maybe won't affect you as much if you get to that top 50. We'll just have to see. Just adding a bit of an edit in here, it actually looks like they've gone for 9 eliminations equals a win across all formats, solos, duos, and trios. So trios has now gone from being the worst way to get arena points, like literally just the worst because of how bad eliminations were and how high the bus fare was, to now by far the best. If you want arena points, find 2 good friends and just W key. You get so, if you just wipe 3 trios, which is not that much at all, you have a win's worth of eliminations points. So I don't know what Epic's doing with this one. It's going to make arena so much more W key, even more than it already was. So I mean, pros are racing to get to champs. They're going to literally be able to get this in a few hours of just hardcore W king. So whether you like that or dislike it, looks like that's the way Epic went. I don't really talk about this too much on my channel because, again, I usually focus on competitive or gameplay elements, but there's so many of them, I have to talk about it. This new update has brought out so many cool cosmetics. Like, I'm not normally one to get excited about skins. I pretty much exclusively wear Bullseye. It's what I'm known for. I like it, but there is ridiculous new skins. All the summer ones, we now have like Summer Brutus, we have Summer Crystal, we have Summer Midas, we have the 4th of July stuff being leaked as well. The gun wrap looks cool. The glider looks cool. Everything looks really awesome about these skins. We even have a new bundle coming out that has an absolutely ridiculous version of Unknown Army skin. I think it's called Kuno, the flame version. So there's some cool cosmetics, and even more than that, they've added a whole bunch of challenges and quests and things for people to do. Like I was talking about in a lot of my videos, summer breaks kicking off. There's so much more time for players to play, so having these extra things in the game for them to do is going to really help Fortnite stay relevant and grow more. People are going to bring their friends in to do challenges to get cool skins. I absolutely love that from Fortnite, to add a whole bunch of more content when people have more to do. I kind of wish this would extend to competitive. If anything, the opposite is happening for competitive, because Epic Games is going to go on break after this solo FNCS for a few weeks. I think we're going to have 3 weeks of absolutely no tournaments, when most of the Fortnite pros are kids. A lot of them now have so much time to play, or it would be a good chance to get casuals more into competitive. Again, I work for Epic when it comes to the broadcast. I see how hard these people work. I really don't want to say they shouldn't have a break. That's not what I'm saying at all. Everyone deserves a holiday. Everyone deserves a break. That includes Epic. But I just wish there was a way they could have like daily tournaments on every day of the summer break with a small prize pool. It would just reinvigorate the game and competitive so much more. And I feel like for the cost investment, it would be so worth it. I know there might be glitches with the tournaments not starting sometimes, so they need staff there ready to get the tournaments going. But I feel like it'd be worth it if someone was able to stay around and do that. I don't know. Again, I don't know Epic's kind of inner workings when it comes to their staff. I don't work for Epic. I don't work for Epic, no matter what you guys say. I do not. I get to broadcast for them. I get to be a commentator, which I love, but that does not mean I am employed by Epic. I am just subcontracted by them to do a broadcast. So I really wish there was a way we could do that, because I think it would be great for the game, but at least the casuals have something to play for and something to keep them occupied, because that's what I want. I want the game to stay healthy. Either way, all in all, we got a bunch of new content, which is always fantastic for the game. If this is a sign of things to come, hopefully we get some changes that can also go into competitive. Maybe that 3-week break is going to be a chance to make some map changes and add something and not affect the tournaments. I'm not going to complain about how serious Epic is these days about not making major changes right before tournaments. I think that's really good for the players. I think it's really healthy for the game. So maybe in that 3 weeks, that's where we get to see them play around with competitive changes, knowing there's no tournaments. You guys always say I'm too hopeful, I'm too optimistic, but hey, today was a massive update, only 2 weeks into the new season, like Epic said they would. I'm trusting their word at the moment, and I'm getting excited for this season. I'm really getting more excited as the season progresses. But that does it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on anything I talked about. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.